All right. Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. My name is Morgan Heitzma with Scott Leroy Marketing. And today's class, we're going to be talking about our opportunities or our sales pipeline. And within today's class, just know that we are going to record this and throw this up on our YouTube page. You can feel free to visit this any point in time. It usually takes about 24 hours to upload and process, but I'm going to throw that YouTube link in the chat box down below for you. And within this chat box, just know that if you have any questions throughout today's training, please feel free to use this chat box. I'll do my best to stop in real time and help address those questions. If by chance I miss any questions, just know that I'm going to stay for a few minutes at the end of class here today to help answer any of those that I may have missed. If by chance your KW command system's just not quite working the way that you want it to or its intended purpose, please feel free to reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. We'll be happy to jump in and take a look at your account and try and help troubleshoot that for you. All right, without further ado, our opportunities class here today. Again, this is going to be a big portion in our KW command platform. It's really our transactions. So as we're taking a look here to get to our KW command, it's going to be agent.kw.com. And you should be greeted with this login page here, which for today's purpose, we'll go ahead and sign in underneath Scott's KW command. And once you hit sign in here, you should be taken to the KW command homepage. Now, within this homepage, before we actually navigate over to our opportunities and take a look at that, we're going to want to make sure that we have a certain system set up in place before we actually create and navigate through those opportunities, because we want to make sure that everything's kind of aligned and ready for us to be able to use at that certain point in time. One of which is going to be our DocuSign account. So if we go ahead and click on our name on the very top right hand corner here, we should get a drop down. And within this drop down, we're going to actually search for the settings option. It's going to be third from the bottom. And within this settings option right here, you should see a number of third-party applications, which if you have it, you can go ahead and connect it. And if not, you can go ahead and ignore it. Now, one of which is going to be our DocuSign connection right here. And for today's demonstration, I'll go ahead and disconnect this, because if you don't quite have your DocuSign connected just yet, you may not see it at the very top here. It's actually going to be in a specific section called Digital Signature and Transactions right here. Once we locate our DocuSign account, this is going to be a little bit different than the other ones where we just connect our personal account and continue onward. Our DocuSign connection is going to be how we initiate or create that KW branded DocuSign account. Now, within KW command, within our command platform, we're only able to utilize a KW branded DocuSign. So what this means is if you've created a personal or have a paid DocuSign account outside of KW command or outside of this section right here, chances are you're going to be unable to use that email address that's associated with that personal or paid account. DocuSign registers everything underneath email addresses, and if your email is already taken by another account, unfortunately, you'd have to use a different email address. Now, as we take a look right here, I'm just going to simply click on Connect Account next to DocuSign here. It's going to ask me 3 different questions: my preferred first name, my preferred last name, and the preferred email address that I want this account underneath. Now, as we're taking a look here, just keep in mind in the world of logins, we are missing a few pieces of vital information, which is going to be that password, as well as a security question. So think of this as half of your KW branded DocuSign account setup. The other half is going to come in the form of a registration email from DocuSign. DocuSign is going to send an email to this account right here for you to create that password as well as that security question. Now, as we're taking a look right here, you did see me disconnect my KW branded DocuSign account. If by chance that has gotten disconnected, or if you need to disconnect and reconnect, we have a log in here button. Let me back that out really quick. We have a login here button where we can just simply bypass the registration email if we already have a KW branded DocuSign account. So in this case, I'll just simply delete Scott Leroy and add myself. And then I'm going to click log into DocuSign here. Now you'll get a pop-up right here to complete that password. Now remember, when you first send that registration invite, you're going to create that password through DocuSign.com. And then once we come back here and finish that connection inside of KW Command, we'll use that same password that we just created. Now, one thing that I would like to note here before we proceed forward is that we see this pop-up box right here. Now, we have seen some instances where certain web browsers may not produce this pop-up, or if you have a pop-up blocker enabled on your browser, this may not show up and appear here for you. This is pretty vital for our connection with DocuSign and KW Command. So we would highly suggest using the Google Chrome browser or Google Chrome Incognito to help secure this connection. So we'll hit login here. And then you should see a tab at the very top that says DocuSign is now ready and can be found within your opportunities section, within your documents section in your opportunities. So we're going to navigate there here in a moment, but as we scroll up here, we'll see that we do have our DocuSign reconnected here. Not only that, it does give you an indication of what email address is associated with this DocuSign account. Now, it may not give you all of the email address, so if you have the same like first and last name on all of your email addresses at gmail@kw.com, it may be a little bit confusing. But more often than not, you should be able to easily identify what email address is connected to this DocuSign account here. So what is DocuSign, right? So we have a full in-depth DocuSign class. So we may not highlight too much more of this DocuSign section, but what DocuSign is it's a way for you to pull in forms, fill those forms out, and then send them out to your clients to sign electronically or via email. So so think of it as this is where you create your forms, send them out, and have them come back signed and completed. Now, once we complete our DocuSign account right here, the second thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to click on our red KW square on the top left-hand corner. This should open up our navigational pages here, and we're actually going to navigate over to our contacts. So the first step would be making sure that our settings and our DocuSign is connected. The second step is going to be making sure that we have a contact. Now, if you don't have any contacts inside of your database just yet, you can go ahead and create one to follow along here, a sample contact. If you have contacts, you can go ahead and use one as an example here. And then last but not least, if you need help importing your contacts, just please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you. As we're taking a look here, again, I'm going to breeze through this contact section a little bit quickly, just because, again, we have a full in-depth class on this. But really what we need is a contact here in order to create an opportunity. So we have fake name. This is just a fake contact that we've entered into our database here. As we're taking a look right here, the left-hand side is all the information that we filled out. And the right-hand side is typically starts off with our timeline of all of the information or all of the activities that are currently taking place with this contact. If we navigate on the top right-hand corner here, right next to timeline, you'll have an option called opportunities. And this is pretty cool because you actually have two different ways that you can create an opportunity. You can create an opportunity through a contact right here, or we can navigate all the way to our opportunities page and work on our opportunities from there. I would say be strategic in the way that you are utilizing the system here. So if one part of the time you are highly focused on contacts, it may be best to kind of run opportunities through here and create an opportunity. You'll get this form here to fill out. Or if you're more transaction focused at that point in time and you're focusing on your deals, it may be best to navigate over to the opportunities section right here. So one's contact focused, one is more transaction focused. So right here on the top right hand corner, I'll just click on create opportunity. You'll see this list populate right here. I can fill this out right here, but what I really kind of want to do is I want to fill this out over on our actual opportunities page. So I'm just going to kind of create a brand new page so we can kind of see what that looks like side by side. Now, I navigated over to the opportunities page right here. Now that we have a contact created and we have our DocuSign connected, we can now go ahead and create a few opportunities. Now, before we create our opportunities, it's best just to kind of get familiar with this page here. So you'll see right off the bat, you'll see 3 different colors, green, orange, and blue right here, or purple. The green one is going to be all for your listings. These are going to be all the listings that you have that you're working on. The orange is going to be all of the buyers. And then last but not least, these are going to be your leases down below here. As we're taking a look, each timeline has a similar what we call phases. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 phases from cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and closed right here. Now, if we think of the world of transactions, right, those transactions really only take place under the under contract and closed section right here. Everything else before that is what we're doing to ensure a successful sale. So as we're taking a look right here, cultivate would actually be a moment that a cold lead clicked on your social media ad and you captured their information, but you haven't quite reached out to them yet. As we're working on that lead right here and they're ready to do business, then we can move them over to appointment. We can start setting appointments for them. We can move them over to active where we're showing homes. And once they find a home, we can kind of go under contract and closed right here. Now you'll see a similar timeline down below right here for buyers: cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and closed. These are really reflective of the same pillars in the buy and the sell side. So it's not until we actually click on these icons right above these colored circles here where we're actually able to get into this full cultivate section. And if we do, then you'll see a watch, nurture, and hot right here. So we are able to edit this, and we'll get to that here in a minute. But if you have yet to adjust your opportunities, I believe it should say watch, nurture, and hot. So again, as we're getting into that specific phase right here, it kind of breaks it down a little bit more minimal for you. So again, watch would be you haven't yet reached out to that contact or that cold lead. Nurture is going to be getting in contact with them, building a relationship, and then hot is going to be when they are ready to look for homes and do business with you. So backing out one more time right here, each one of these images you're able to kind of click on and jump into. Now, again, I know the buy side and the sell side both have different activities that need to be completed. Once we kind of take a look inside of kind of the active section right here, you'll see this will start to kind of segment out between the buy side and the sell side. So buyers, you're going to be looking for homes. Listings, you're going to be staging homes, right? So again, as we click on that active right here, again, yours may not say this. Again, this is kind of a test account. So, but you should have a staging, open house, things like that, that come across this active section right here. And then on the buy side right here, you should have searching, showing, and negotiations. So as we kind of move across the timeline right here, right below these clickable icons, you're going to have, again, this colored circle with a number inside of it. And these are really cool because at any point in time, I'm going to move over to Scott's section right here. At any point in time, we can easily identify where we're at in our business. So say today, if somebody comes up to you and says, hey, what does your business look like? I can say, give me just a second. I can pull this page up here and I can say, well, for my listing sides, I have 0 listings that I'm cultivating, 3 that are in appointments, 3 that are active, 5 under contract, and 0 closed. On my buyer side, I have 1 buyer that I'm cultivating, 2 that are in appointments, 4 that are active, 1 under contract, and 0 closed. And then for my leases, I only have 1 active lease. So you're able to really pinpoint and see where your business is at any point in time just by looking at this page right here. So I think it's really cool. As we follow this timeline all the way over to the right hand side right here, you'll have these categories called GCI. And these are split between your potential and probable income. So you see how we have, let's say, see how we have 5 listings under contract right here, and we only have 3 that are in appointments. As we are building and moving these opportunities through the timeline right here, this is going to change your probable income. So for example, if I had 10 new listings, 10 new leads that I'm cultivating right here, but I have 0 down the pipeline, my probable income may be a little bit lower based off of them on the timeline at the beginning of the timeline here. Seeing as how I have 5 opportunities that are under contract already, you can see that my probable income has jumped to $104,636. But the potential, if I were to bring all of these guys over to close right here, would be 190. Now, again, I can very easily move some of these over. So if I were to move, say, I were to move a few out of my under contract and back to my kind of cultivate section, you'll see that has dropped here for my probable income to be about 95,000. So again, it'll depend on where your opportunities are in the pipeline for your probable income, and then again, your potential is going to be if all of them were to close. Now, last but not least, down below here, these blue dots right here, you have your average volume right here. So again, depending on the information that's populated in these opportunities, this will show you what that volume may look like, and then how many days on average these opportunities stayed in the cultivate. So as you see right here, average time as we move over this has increased. But again, this is reflective of that test account. So yours may look a little bit more accurate. All right, scrolling down right here, we have 2 other sections, and this is going to be your ratio and your activity. You also have a closing this month section as well. This section should also indicate your different closings that may happen. Your ratio is going to give you a circle graph, a pie graph of what your business is made up of. So what is my business made up in terms of listings and buyers and leases right here? So you'll see that I'm I'm a little more heavy on the listing side than I am on the buyer side, and I'm very minimal on my leases side right here. Again, as we kind of move over here, we can kind of see that in a full kind of list style right here. So we can kind of see my buyer's potential is about 42,000, but my probable is probably about 24. So again, more money on that listing side, but again, it's always good to kind of be able to kind of take a look at this and see where that's at. And then last but not least, you have this gray bar down below here that gives you those totals. So if you want to see that all together, you can kind of see that right here. Your activity right here, this is going to be a year-long activity. So as the month moves onward, this will move forward 1, this will move backwards 1, and so you can see that 12-month rotation of your opportunities and what that kind of looks like. All right, so before we create an opportunity, I just wanted to kind of highlight this top section right here. This top section, you may have a team here, you may have your personal name, all opportunities and all discussions right here. So if you don't see some of this stuff, that's perfectly fine. As we're taking a look at this right here, if you are a solo agent, you may not have a team. You may just have yourself and then your all opportunities here. So if you belong to a team, it's up to your rainmaker if they choose to allow you to have your own opportunities and the team, or just the team. So again, it'll depend on the rainmaker and your permissions as a team member. So so again, but if you have all of these, if you're a solo agent, if you work on a team and you have access to create both sides, this is what it would typically look like: a team opportunities, personal opportunities, and then you get a running list of all the opportunities that you've created right here. So again, if you needed to go back and see this in more of a list view instead of those squares, and then all discussions. So again, this would be more for team discussions on opportunities right here. Now, going back to Scott's section right here, I'm going to click on Create Opportunity on the top right-hand corner here, and you'll see that this list is exactly the same as that contact section. So remember when we were inside of the contacts here, we pulled up this Create Opportunity. It's exactly the same as if we were inside of our Opportunities section right here. The only difference that you're going to see here is if we're inside of our Opportunities page, we'll need to select a client. And if we are already on the client already pre-populates for us. But that's pretty much the only difference that we're seeing here on this, okay? So, so taking a look here, creating a brand new opportunity, first and foremost, you're going to have your market center up at the very top. If you only belong to one market center, chances are you'll only have one option here. You may not be able to drop down. But if you are transferring from one market center to another, or if you belong to multiple market centers or brokerages, right, you may have a drop down right here. You may not have as many as I have, but you should have both of the market centers that you belong to. And it's very important that we select the specific market center that we're sending this opportunity or this transaction to, okay? Unfortunately, after we create the opportunity, it will not allow us to change this or edit this. So first and foremost, select the correct market center. Next, if you belong to a team, this will give you the option: are we going to use our team or are we going to use ourselves? Now, within this specific market center, I don't have that team, but let's see if I can. Yep, I'm not quite sure which one that is, but your team should populate right here. And if this is a team opportunity or a team transaction, right, we're going to want to select our team. If you're a solo agent, this won't populate for you. It'll look very much like how it looks right here. Next, we have our opportunity type. Is this a listing or is this a buyer? Now, again, once we select this, we will not be able to edit this. So I'm going to select listing here for now. These three sections, again, are unable to be changed. Your client, I'm just going to add fake name here. And then we have our co-seller. And I always like to stress that, that this is a great example of why we like to separate our contacts out. So again, if you have a husband and wife on one contact, it may be worth it to kind of take a look at separating your contacts out, because within your database, you're always able to pair them together via relationship. But here it really kind of makes that difference, because say maybe me and my wife may purchase a home this year, but maybe 3 years down the line, I may invest in a commercial location with my business partner that has nothing to do with my wife at all. So having this option to be able to adjust your client and your co-seller like that is really going to be able to kind of help you in the long run. So again, I always kind of say it's always best to keep your contacts separate here. You can always pair them together as needed throughout this system here. In this case right here, I'm not going to choose a co-seller, but again, all I'd have to do is enter in a name, plug it in right here. And then last but not least, you have your custom tags. So custom tags, they're going to be very similar to your contact tags, but only they're going to be for your transactions, right? So do you want to list this as first-time home buyer? Do you want to list this as a geolocation, certain geographical location, right? Do you want to set this as a price range? Anything that you might deem valuable information for custom tags, you can go ahead and tag your opportunities out as well. In this case right here, I don't think I'm going to, yeah, let's do Colorado right here. So I'm just going to tag this out as Colorado. That way it just allows me to identify this listing a little bit more, what kind of context it has. And then last but not least, down at the very bottom, We have estimated close date, time frame, estimated listing price. These three we don't have to fill this out right now. If you have the information, that's fantastic. But the three that are required are your commission rate, opportunity phase, and opportunity stage. Now, just keep in mind, we can skip this for now, but we will need this populated when we do our commissions. So as we're taking a look right here, last but not least, I'll do a zero commission right here. Opportunity phase and stage, we can actually move this up all the way to, I believe, active negotiations. Because again, remember when it turns into under contract, that acts as a locked-in deal with both parties signing documents. So we can actually move this opportunity up. If, say, we were late to creating this opportunity and we're already halfway through this, we can actually say we're actually in open house section right now. To be able to easily identify this, we're going to move this back over to the Cultivate Watch section, and then all we have to do is click on Create. When we click on Create, this is going to bring us to a brand new page here. This is actually inside of your opportunity. So if I were to kind of back out right here, click on my Cultivate section, you'll see Fake Name Listing. You'll see that these opportunities kind of turn into a box here where if you hover over the box, if you see a paw, kind of like an open hand right here, this allows you to be able to grab and move this down the timeline here. If you see a pointer finger right here, that allows you to be able to click on this title right here and be able to jump into the opportunity. Now, if this is a listing, I always highly encourage us to jump in here and change the listing to the listing address, 123 Main Street. I should have done this when we created the opportunity initially, but this is perfectly fine here. But this is also a good indicator. It shows you what we can and cannot change. So unfortunately, we can't edit any of these options right here, but we can edit a few. Now, what's cool about this is if you're always dealing with a listing, I would highly encourage you to add that listing address. Don't worry, because you'll always still be able to see that contact name down below. But this just allows you to be able to view the opportunity and kind of helps your principal reviewing brokers as well. But once we jump into this right here, again, it looks very similar to our contact right here. So where the left-hand side is all the information that we filled out. You see that right here, 123 Main Street, fake name. And then the right-hand side is going to be all of that property information right here. So, so again, when we take a look at our opportunities here, your listings and your buyers are going to be very similar, but your listings may have some additional options that your buyers may not. So as I go back here, I'm going to create one more opportunity on the buyer side. We're just going to click buyer right here. And since we're just working with this buyer, we may not have an address for them just yet. And that's perfectly fine. We'll just plug that in right when we find that property that they're interested in. Cultivate. Perfect. So now I have a buyer. So again, they look pretty much identical. The two things that I really kind of wanted to highlight here, side by side, is going to be pulling a listing in and listing marketing right here. So right here, you'll see that we have a listing. You can notice by the green right here, you can see sales pipeline. You can see listing Cultivate up top. And then on my other page right here, you can see that it's kind of orange, and it's that buyer side. So this is the buyer opportunity, and the other one would be the listing opportunity. So taking a look at the listing opportunity, the first section that we have that is dedicated solely to the listing opportunities is select from listings right here. This allows us to be able to pull in a listing. I'm going to move show only my listings to show all listings right here. I'm just going to type in an address, 123 Main Street. And then once we find a property here, we can simply click select, and this will populate all of that information on the right-hand side. I know you can't see it because this is popped in right here, but this is going to fill in all this property information. There you go. It all updated right here. And so again, this allows us to be able to again, connect that listing as well as all that listing information. And now we have, oops, scroll down a little bit more. Now we have, again, everything that we need for this so far. Again, your buyer section will not have this because again, you're searching for a property for them. Now, the second thing that that listings have, sorry, I'm jumping back and forth so much, almost done here, is going to be the marketing side. So marketing and select listings, these are only dedicated to the listing opportunities. Since we are promoting this specific listing right here, it allows you, depending on where you're at in that timeline, it gives you specific marketing to allow you to carry through and have a nice marketing package for that 123 Main Street. Again, buyers don't quite need to be promoted, so it didn't quite have that section for that. All right, awesome. So as we're taking a look at this right here, again, left-hand side is all the info we filled out. Right-hand side is going to be that listing info. On the buyer side, in order to populate this listing information, on the right-hand side right here, you'll have a pencil. And then again, we'll just go ahead and select this manually here. Next, we have our documents right here. And I'm going to kind of, again, go side by side right here. On our documents on our buyer side, it's going to be, again, very similar to the documents on our listing side. It may look like nothing here to start off with, but what we actually need to do is we need to select a checklist type. Now, this may be where your market center is, this may be where your screen looks a little bit different than my screen. It's because your market center is the one that creates these checklist items, okay? So, so it is expected that my checklist items may be different. Now, first and foremost, we'll click on this drop down. Again, you guys may not have as many as I have here, but we should have at least a residential and sometimes a commercial. But we're selecting residential here for now. And when we selected that, you may notice all these checklist items, but what else it did was open up 3 categories here for us underneath that residential listing. So we have our listed, under contract, and closed. Now, as we take a look at these 3 sections right here, these are the points in time where your market center is looking for specific documents. So when a listing is listed right here, these are all the documents that your market center is wanting you to upload and submit to them. Okay. I'll scroll up here a little bit. Under contract, once we get to our under contract stage, then we can kind of go ahead and fill these out, right? And then of course on closed right here, you may or may not have some closed documents as well. Again, your checklist items are most likely going to look different than mine. Now, as we take a look at our listed right here, you'll see, again, all these checklist items. I'm going to start from the right to left right here. So first and foremost, you're going to be able to drag and drop documents from your computer here. So again, if I had a PDF on my computer, I can go ahead and upload it here. It'll also give me an indication that it has been uploaded. And again, we can kind of click on these 3 dots. If this was the incorrect form, I can remove this just as well right here. Moving over, it kind of gives you the document title and the type of document that they're looking for in this specific upload right here. So they're looking for the CMA initialed by client. This is a disclosure type right here. This document is required in order to proceed forward. So you'll have some forms that are required, some that are optional, and some that are contingent on the property. So as we kind of scroll down right here, here's conditional right here. These are required, and your light yellow is going to be your optional right here. So again, as we pull and upload that PDF, I'm going to pull that PDF through one more time here. Once we upload a document, your submit to market center button up here is going to become active for you to be able to submit. So it's only able to become active if there is a document that's needing to be submitted. Right next to your submit to MC button, there's going to be this dark gray button that says start a transaction. I remember when we started at the very beginning of this class here, we actually connected our DocuSign account. This is going to be where your DocuSign lives right here. So once we actually connect this, it should be dark gray here for you to be able to select. Once we jump into our DocuSign right here, you only currently have the opportunity to upload files from your computer, but once we connect this, it'll actually allow you to upload files from your computer or from DocuSign. We're not going to jump too much into here, but again, once we click on the Start a Transaction button, we're going to open up a new tab into DocuSign Rooms, and this is also going to turn into a white button with blue text, kind of indicating that there is a DocuSign room connected. So right now there's no DocuSign room connected here. I'm going to choose DocuSign. We're going to get that new tab that pops open here. There we go. And now this is creating that DocuSign room for us. So again, taking a look right here, we can start to fill out these forms. We can add new forms to fill out and send out for signatures. So again, this will be where you kind of work on all of your forms to send out, be sent back to you signed, and then you can go ahead and upload them here to submit to your Market Center, all signed, sealed, and delivered. Last but not least, once we kind of click on that go to start a transaction button, you'll see again, it used to say My Computer Manual. Now it says DocuSign right here. Your DocuSign working folder, you're going to be able to pull in any signed documents. I don't have any signed documents here, but again, just know there's a full in-depth class on this, how to send out and get signatures signed and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's how you get your DocuSign connected and how you pull in forms from your computer. Now, as we move forward here, I'm going to click on offers and commissions. In order to work on your commissions or submit a commissions report, you'll first need to create an offer. Now, we can simply create an offer by clicking on this button right here. We can label it anything that we want to, maybe initial offer plus today's date. And as we kind of start filling this out, not quite sure if you guys can see that, but there's a timeline right here that kind of shows us all the different steps in order to kind of complete this. So first and foremost, our offer date and our close date right here, that's fine. Since we are working with the listing here, that 123 Main Street and that opportunity right here, we're going to be underneath the seller sign. If this was a buyer offer, our information would be on the left-hand side right here. So you see it filled in our client's name, our name, since we're underneath Scott's account right here. And then all we need to do is fill in the buyer's name and the buyer's agent name. So okay, so now we have an associate's name, we have a buyer name, and again, if you have more information, please feel free to fill that out. But those are the only two required pieces in order to kind of continue onward. You do also have the option to check pre-approved or pre-qualified if they fit that criteria. So look, we already kind of made it almost through this timeline here. So we did our offer details, we did our parties. Our terms are going to be next here. So again, how much is this home going to be, or what's the offer going to be? I forgot to check out the listing price right here, but let's just go. There we go. So we're just going to do a cash amount of $50,000, finance amount of $450, with a full sale price of $500K. So again, not quite sure what that listing priced out as, but we'll use that as our example for today. Again, earnest money percent right here and amount, any kind of optional fee, termination option. This buyer will give notice of termination within 4 days after contract, and then seller will contribute blank to residential service contract, and seller will contribute blank to settlement costs. I'm going to leave these blank for now as well. But again, if you have specific information to enter in about your listing that you're adding here, please feel free to do so, or that offer. So last but not least, pros, cons, and summary. Client really liked this, but they're concerned about that. If this were to be improved or swapped out, upgraded, we would be ready to close by next week. So pros, cons, summary. You do have this here. Again, contingent on the offer. We'll hit save. And as we create a specific offer right here, they'll start to look something like this. Now you can create a number of different offers. So I'm just going to be really quick on creating the second offer right here. There we go. And so now we have two offers. One is obviously a better offer than the other. So as we're kind of scrolling through here, and as we're kind of taking a look at all the different offers that are coming in, and as we're plugging these in right here, what's cool is on the right hand side, by clicking these three dots right here, you have a couple different options here. So if we messed up on the offer, like I forgot to put in my termination notice on how many days, we can simply go ahead and edit this and then adjust it. If we need to add a negotiation, we can go ahead and do that as well. We can send the offer, remove the offer. Send offers is really cool. It's one of my favorite things inside of this offer section right here. It allows you to be able to send the specific offer over to your seller here. So taking a look, you'll see that that fake name at email, that's actually fake name, our contact's email address. So it did plug in that contact's email. Subject line, we have a new offer. Great news, that's off. There's an offer on your listing. I may want to add some additional context. 4 days to termination, something similar to that. You can send a copy of this email to yourself, but if we click on this eyeball on the top right hand corner here, Command really does a great job of sending and creating this email for you, so your clients can actually see this right here. Pros, cons, summary. You have your price range right here, your offer details, and then you also have some branding right here too, where your client can download your app or view your contact information. So really cool to have that auto-generated email here where you can just send offers left and right. So I'm going to back out right here. I'm going to select the higher amount of the 500K. I'm going to accept this offer right here. And you notice right when I accepted that offer, one of two things happened. This kind of went away, so I didn't have an option anymore to kind of adjust this. If you only have one, there we go. It actually moved all the way up to the top. So the 500K was at the bottom. Now it's up at the top. In this case right here, I can leave this or remove this. But once we accept an offer, we can't really accept any more offers here. Once you accept an offer, it'll change these buttons right here to change response and manage commission. This is going to be where your commission reports really lie right here. You can only view this button if you have successfully accepted an offer. Okay, so offer needs to be created first and accepted, and then we'll jump into manage commission right here. Now, taking a look at our commission report, the left-hand side, again, all the information we need to fill out. The right-hand side is going to auto-populate in real time here for us. So as we're scrolling down through here, the first section right here is going to be our general information. And remember when we created that opportunity initially, we kind of skipped a few categories and we said, no worries, we can always come back to this, but we have to fill this out before our commission reports. Now, as we kind of see this red arrow right here, this is one of those places that I was referencing right here. So we'll just go ahead and click edit that general information. Contract date. Let's do today's date right here. And then commission rate right here. Let's do a 3%, and we'll hit save right here. So now instead of the 0, we can see the actual percentages coming into play here. So as we kind of take a look, not only did we fix all of our red asterisks, but on the right hand side, it populated additional information here for us. So pay agents, this is the pay amount right here, this total commission amount, and then your royalties and caps. Now scrolling down below this general information right here, you have this other section right here, but in between that, we have this skinny little section called payments. And within payments, you have two options right here. You have add another agent and add a co-broker payment. If you are working with a team and you want to split this commission with a team member, we're going to choose add another agent right here. We'll give this a click. Now, unfortunately, I created this underneath Scott's personal command, so it won't give me the option to see those agents right here. But all you would need to do is kind of jump in here and then find the team member that you want to split that commission with. You also have the ability to split the amount of units right here. It'll also calculate it out for you as well. As we scroll down right here, you also have your E&O, Bold Scholarship, some nonprofits as well, and then any extra payment like deductions, bonuses, concessions, things like that. You have the ability to kind of add that as well for this agent here. Again, since I don't have a team member, since I did this under personal, we're going to go ahead and cancel this. But again, team members or splitting with team members right here. Add another agent. Add a co-broker right here. This is going to be for referrals. So if you have anybody who sent you a referral and you need to send them a referral fee, right? Or sorry, a payment right here. We can click add co-broker payment, that commission percentage. And then again, you have that commission amount as well, right? So again, if it was just like a 2,000 commission flat fee or 500 or whatever that looks like, right, for that commission amount, you have the ability to kind of adjust this accordingly, and they'll kind of talk to each other up top here. Next, that representative's name, phone number, as well as, I believe, EIN or SSN information. And once you fill this info out right here and hit save, well, it will add this information to your MCA to be able to kind of add that deduction and send that out for you. So add another agent, add co-broker payment, super important right here. Use these strategically when you have a referral or we need to add another team member. And then last but not least right here, you have your personal section right here. So as you see on the top, we have Scott Leroy because we are underneath Scott's account. Taking a look, agent units, 1, net gross, net payment, and pay date right here. This kind of pulled all that information from the top section right here. As if we had a team member, this deduction would kind of separate out. So if we added like a 0.4 for a referral, then this would adjust to a 0.6, right? And so on. But taking a look over down below here, if anything needs adjustment, or again, if you want to add any E&O, Bold Scholarship, or KW Cares, KW Kids Can, you can do that as well. And then again, we can add any kind of other extras as well for ourselves. Once we're happy with this, again, there's no other kind of errors. It does a good job of giving you these errors if you cannot proceed without adjusting something. But for now, all we have to do is submit this to our MCA for approval. Now, one last thing is if there's something weird or if you just need to send a note to your MCA for this commission right here, you have the ability to do so right here. This is just a test. Please delete. I can add that note right here. I can edit and remove that note. And then I can submit this, right? So again, if I needed to add some additional context to this commission and my MCA, I can do that here. Now, I think as far as Co-broker payments, that's a fantastic question. Yeah, I do believe the co-broker payments are going to be for your referrals right here. Now, as we are taking a look right here, we have a couple other sections as well. So we have our notes, our timeline right here. If you wanted to add any notes onto your opportunities, much like contacts, right? You can feel free to do so here. Timeline, again, we can just kind of see all the different activities that have happened within this timeline here. So 1035, change checklist type, 1036, so on and so forth. And I think for the most part, that's pretty much about it. Without jumping too much into the DocuSign section right here, jumping back out over here. Oh yeah, there's a couple cool things that I want to highlight. Now we have full classes for these as well, but as we are jumping into our different timelines right here. So I'm inside of Cultivate. So this should say watch, nurture, and hot right here. Perfect. If by chance I needed to adjust this to say anything else, I can click stages and checklists up at the very top right here, and I can go ahead and edit these accordingly. So my watch right here, maybe I want to write ready, willing, and able, ABC client, anything that you want that reflects this a little bit more. I'm going to keep it at watch right here. Probability of a lead coming in without me contacting them will have about 0% probability of closing. As we start engaging, that's going to jump up to a 5%. And as they're ready to start to do business, that jumps up to a 7%. If by chance, I think that when they're ready to do business, that's going to be more of a 10% chance. I can go ahead and adjust that here. I can hit save, and then I can continue onward. Now you can kind of see that hot have a 10% probability of closing. Another thing to keep in mind is as we are moving these opportunities down the timeline right here, when we get to the end of a timeline, all we'll have to do is move it up to this next section right here. So as we can kind of see, it's cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and closed, much like that timeline on the opportunities homepage. But as we click and drag right here, all we need to do is get that dotted line to become blue in order for it to snap into that next section here. If it's gray, it'll just snap back to the page that we're on. But if it's blue right here, it should jump into that next category right here. So now you can see that right here, and I can kind of continue this onward. Now, each one of these sections right here has checklists. So we can actually create these checklists to work best for us. So say the moment somebody lands into our database without us contacting them at all. Say I want to do about 8 specific tasks before I start bringing them into the nurture section right here. Down at the very bottom here, you'll see 0 of 8. I can give that a click right here, and I can start checking these off. So get the phone number of the lead, super important. Get the email of the lead, super important. Get the address. And so as I go through here and I start to check these off, now we can start to kind of see, oh, let me do this again. 1, 2, 3. It didn't quite snap over, but you should be able to check these off right here. And as you kind of check off number 8, you can move it over to the next section right here. If you belong to a team, it's even cooler because you're not only are you able to set up a due date, but on your team, you're also able, oh, I know what I did wrong. There we go. Let's move back over here. Let's check these. I was checking these, the left-hand side off. We actually need to check the right-hand side off as mark as complete right here. There we go. So I just marked 3 of these as complete. Let's say 4 of these as complete right here. I'm going to hit done. and then now say 4 of 8 right here. So again, once we complete all of these, we'll move to the next section. The next section will have its own complete set of checklist items. It's completely different than our watch right here. So again, how we create these, again, we'll click on that stages and checklist section on the top right-hand corner here. You'll see our watch, nurture, hot again, and then you'll see checklist right here. Now, you won't be able to edit your checklist items by clicking on the pencil. We'll actually have to click on this blue text right here in order to edit them or even adjust them and move them around. So we can also add more checklist items if we'd like, and we can delete some by clicking on these 3 dots and deleting one right here. So one last thing to mention on this is if you have a client that say you have fake name and another client, Sally Sue, right? And Sally Sue is just an awesome client. They only need the bare basics, but fake name over here just kind of needs a little extra TLC. So we'll use John Doe as the smooth, easy transaction client. With fake name right here, you need some extra TLC. We can actually adjust fake names checklist item without affecting the rest that are in this category here. So if by chance we need to add another task, it's going to be at the very top right here. We can write extra task, and then we can go ahead and hit create right here. And you see how fake name has now 9 tasks, but John Doe only has about 8. And we can see that same reflect down below right here. Everyone else has 8 tasks, the same standard, but fake name has 1 extra just in case. So really cool to be able to adjust that. Again, we have a full class on building these checklist items for the listing side as well as the buyer side. So really excited to get into that next class with you guys. But I think for the most part, this is a fantastic starting point and jumping off to the moment that you jump into KW Command to the moment that you can submit a commissions report. So again, thank you so much, everyone. If you have any additional questions, I'll stay for a few minutes at the end of class here. But without further ado, hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better weekend.